Yeah, whose idea was this again to do this live?
I
Because so
know.
many things that could go wrong.
Yours.
Yes, it looks like we're live. Oh wait, I need to turn
Oh,
myself on mute.
Oh wait.
oh wait, no,
We
we're
are
not live.
live.
We are
Yes,
live
I
on
believe.
YouTube.
Hey, everybody!
Hey, yes, we
It's
we
that-
are live. Woo!
That
And
awkward
we
introduction where everyone goes, "Are we live? Are we live? Yes, you are live.
are we there yet?
live?"
Have we?
You're
So
muted.
thank you.
Oh no, I'm not.
Well, yes. So if anybody is watching, I don't know if anybody is watching live, but this video will be available afterwards, and it will also be available on audio as a podcast. So, hello, welcome, happy New Year to everybody. If anybody is watching us live, moment it says 0 views, so it could be just us 6.
I think it's only us 6 because my wife is downstairs watching it, but she says that she doesn't see anything.
Oh.
I can see it. I'm watching it, and it's.
I can see
Are you
it.
sure she has
Oh.
the right link?
I'll
This is
send.
taking me back to last year.
Oh, it's funny. It's not changed from last year.
We are still maintaining
Let's
a
send it again.
constant degree of professionalism.
Uh-huh.
That
Absolutely,
you can
so
always
professional.
guarantee.
Do we
from
actually
the
have a
team
link?
at the Adventure Game Podcast?
Yes, no, it's it is in the well, I think Laura, you might have it anyway. If you are joining us, you could feel free to write to us in the live chat. But if not, people can watch us afterwards or listen to us afterwards.
On the
But,
podcast.
yes, so it will be on the podcast as audio as well. Oh, it says that there are 3 views now. There are people joining us. Well, first of all, while people are joining, hopefully we shall see. Happy New Year to everyone. Happy New Year to all of you guys. How are you guys doing? How was your Christmas and New Year's Eve celebrations? Did anybody do anything interesting or, I don't know, travel anywhere? Or
Well, I think you did
Nah.
something quite interesting.
did I do anything interesting?
Oh,
Oh.
yes. Congratulations again.
Thank you. Yes, well, for those of you who are not watching on video, I
That's a good
got married. Those of you, I just showed my new ring there. I did marry a girl called Elaine. I'm pleased to announce that she did not turn into a statue of gold.
Hey.
But people are asking, is she, did she get a curse or is she cursed? And I answer, well, she's now married to me. So, you can take that whatever way. No, but it all went amazingly well, actually. It's surprisingly well, I think. So many things could have gone wrong. And a few you guys were there. There was one person in particular who stayed there until the end. Doing the podcast proud.
You
so-
sure, sure.
Yes, yes.
You
No,
stay till the end.
Well, no, I went to bed at 10 o'clock. No, okay. But actually, it was funny because Elaine, in her personal vows, she actually had Adventure Games references, several
Yes.
references. And then I went after with some generic vows as well. I was like, I really can't go after her. And then I went after her in the speech as well, and she was amazing. So, yeah.
What I found quite interesting was that she made those kind of references, and there was quite a few people. There was probably about, I don't know how many people was in the ceremony, and there's about 3 people in that room that probably recognised
That
what
went
those-
way.
But what were they? Because you never shared what the references
I
actually
can't
were.
remember. I think she said that the 2 of us will be something like combining for inventory items or something.
She said,
Ah.
if you were my adventure, if you were an adventure game, you'd be my favorite one.
Aw.
Ah.
And I think we'd be, and something along the lines of, we'd be the perfect inventory items to combine or something like
Yeah.
that.
And she's played Broken Swords, so
Yes,
she does know good adventure games.
yes. And she really enjoyed it as well. But yes, it all
I'm
went.
sure she's going to enjoy one of the games that we have on our list today as well.
Oh, well, we shall see. Because yes, so what we will be doing is for, again, if this is your first, if you haven't seen last year's episode, the second time I think we're doing is we're going to have a group adventure games podcast, top 10 adventure games of last year. Now, first of all, if your game or if a game you liked isn't mentioned, it's probably because we didn't get to play it or different reasons, or it's probably because it was still very good, but I mean, for us, I think it's a ridiculous top 10 list for different reasons.
2025 has been like a fantastic year, and I think it's just been, there's been so many games I would have liked to have put higher up there, but it's just like, but there's so many other fantastic games as well. It's just been a really patch year.
In any other year, any one of these games could have been the number one.
Yes, in the top 10, they could have been number one.
And even some games that fall outside of the top 10.
Yes, and I think we have to point out as well that there was a very kind of complex algorithm that I think Kieran created.
So, the algorithm. We all love that word.
So even if you're thinking, oh, well, they've not all played all the games, how could they possibly rate them? There was a very good algorithm which put some weight depending on if a few of us rated a game highly. I mean, Kieran, you can explain it more, but
it's the Kieran rhythm, is it?
And it suspiciously pushed up the games that I really liked as well. It seemed to put those a bit higher than the others.
You were not supposed to say that.
That's usually what people say to me. But anyway, yes, no, thank you, Kieran, because, well, we did get one comment last year. I mean, it's a little bit harsh, I think. I'm not going to read the entire comment, but he did say that, that we didn't play all the games, and that's not going to happen, unfortunately. I would love to, we all would love to, but we do this, we're volunteered, so don't do this for a living. We're not going to play all the games that are released or the games that we want to play. I, for example, haven't played so many games that I want to play, including a couple that are in the top 10. But this year we have, as I said, just tried to make it as fair as possible. But first, I just do want to say that, look, top 10 this is meant to be for fun. I mean, we disagree amongst ourselves on, we have different personal top 10 lists, so we disagree. But it's supposed to be top 10 and supposed to be to celebrate all these great games that have been released over the last year. So yes, we're going to have like a number one, but that's not the same for all of us. We all have different number ones as well.
Yeah.
So just wanted to mention that. But so feel free to let us know what your top 5, top 10 games, what your top adventure games of last year were.
And we should say hi to a couple of people in the chat already. So hello to
there
Beyond.
are people in the chat.
Yes. See, this is why you got me, sure. I'll keep an eye on. Beyond Booleans, hello. To Resno Entertainment, hello. Obviously from Legend of Castile. And Eric Rodriguez, hello, Eric. From Brazil, hi.
Oh, hello.
Global.
Hello. So, yes, from different places. Torresno, yes, who is making Legends of Castile, as you mentioned. He's from Spain and Brazil, so different countries and continents. Hello, everybody. So feel free to chip in with your thoughts as well as we go through the list. Yes. So that's what we'll be doing, our top 10 group list for adventure games. And so we will see then what we will reveal. Now, I do also have to mention very, very quickly, now I don't know if anybody really cares about this, but I do have to say, in case people are waiting for episodes to come out, unfortunately, I don't have as much free time as I did. So for the foreseeable future, I certainly won't be doing as many, but there might not be any interviews for the foreseeable future because it's becoming really difficult to schedule time to do them and to edit them and upload them. And I know that I have been in contact with developers, so I do apologize. I hope to get around to them at some point, but certainly right now it's becoming impossible on my end. So we will see later on in the year, but I just wanted to mention that in case people are still waiting. But we'll still be doing the podcast. We'll be doing reviews as well after this episode as well. But yeah, so I just wanted to mention that. And also, there is good news, but I can't really say much about that because I'm working on something which all of you know. I don't want to say anything yet. I mean, it's related to the podcast, but it's not the podcast. It's something different. I am about 3/4 of the way through, so I hope to finish it by the end of the year, and I would like to announce it, when it's more or less done. So I don't want to say anything yet, and then because for different reasons there could be delays, but I think it's exciting, and I think I mentioned a few people at Adventure X, and they seemed excited about it. So we'll add that teaser. Okay, so shall we get started?
Yes.
Yes.
Properly.
Let's go.
Yes.
Yes. Now, so before the top 10, I just wanted to give a shout out to other games because, there is that question, what is an adventure game? And I know there might even be games on our list that some people will say, well, it's not really an adventure game. And I think it's, it's okay to have disagreements as well. We have that discussion ourselves. So there are some games, for example, survival horror, action adventure. I think traditional RPGs, at least, that we haven't included because we don't consider them adventure games. But I think, my feeling is that adventure games have always been evolving. And that's why there are a variety of different types of adventure games, I would consider them. So I just wanted to mention that as well. But there are a couple of things as well. And I just wanted to mention very quickly that I started reading this year interactive novels. So I just want to give an award to Best Interactive Novel. So these are like the choose your own adventure games, but these are for adults. These two books that were released this year, and they are interactive. They're two detective novels, and I don't know if we can show them. The first one is Murder at Christmas, and I don't know if I know you can't see it, but it's called Murder at Christmas by GB Rubin. And again, you are the detective, a Sherlock Holmes type detective, and there's two books in one. So you have to choose: do you go to a mansion up in Yorkshire, or do you go to London or somewhere? And you have to decide, and then you to choose where to go, what to do, who to interrogate, and so just make choices, and then you to say who you think is the killer. And it's very well written, and I really enjoyed it. Perfect read at Christmas. And but I think there's another book that I like more, because that book, while it's very good, I would have liked it to be a little bit more interactive, a little bit more kind of to it. There is a book that is like it, and I think some of you might know which book I'm going to mention. We met the author at Adventure X. It is by Anthony Johnston. I know you can't see it either because of my background, but I do apologize, but it's a huge mess behind me. So Kira put in the chat, book is Murder at Christmas by GB Rubin. Can You Solve the Murder by Anthony Johnston. And I just saw this book at random. My wife was looking for a Myrtle book, and she showed me this, and I said, oh, I'm getting it. And I read it, and I absolutely loved it. It is a detective book again. It's similar. You make the choices, but also you have to use a notebook. You have to use pen and paper because you have to collect evidence. Now, it is accessible. It's not like, other games we've played. So it is more exciting. You write, like, if you for this character, you just put letters and then you follow through. There are some puzzles in it. There are, you have to decipher some messages in it. And I really enjoyed it. And when I was reading that book, I was thinking, surely this guy must have written for video games, because it seemed like he understood, how to write for interactive media. And sure enough, he wrote for Resident Evil. He wrote for what is it?
That space.
Dead Space, thank you. And Silent Hill. So the three main survival horror games. And he also wrote the comic book The Coldest City, which became the movie Atomic Blonde with Charlize Theron. So he's done some good work. So I think the best interactive novel of the year for me is Can You Solve This, or Can You Solve the Murder? And it's absolutely fantastic. If you love adventure games, I would say definitely get that book. If you know somebody who loves reading books, who likes detective genre, I would say get that book for them. Someone like your grandmother or your parents or people who don't play games, I think they could really enjoy it as well. So just wanted to mention that. Anybody have any questions on that or anything else to add?
That is excellent. I've secretly tried to push the book angle over the last couple of years of the podcast.
Secretly.
There's
was nothing secret about it, mate.
Because it's been increasing. It was just that there were all these children's books where you can, like Goosebumps, you can pick what you want to do at the end of the book and stuff, and there hasn't been as much for adults, but it's really taken off, and I'm really excited for these two. I've not read either of those, but I really want to now.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, it's really taking off. Those sorts of game book overlaps is going great.
Yeah, no, Anthony told us at Adventure X that became a hit, like that became very popular, and I think he's finished writing Can You Solve the Murder 2? So it's just, I don't know when it's going to be released, but I'm really excited. And I think the main thing is that they're not gimmicks. Like, they would work well if they were not interactive. The writing is good in them. That's the main thing. Because if it's just a kid, there was another book that I'm not going to mention that apparently wasn't very good, that characters who had died, they come back to life later. And I think it's clear that author didn't really understand how to write interactive fiction, but these two authors really get it, in particular Anthony Johnson. So, yeah, and I know Kieran, you've been talking about some books as well, some adventure game books as well. So, glad that you're enjoying it. And then the second thing before we go in is there are some games as well that I think, that I certainly haven't included this game because it is more of an RPG. But so I would title this the best narrative-driven RPG. Now there are two games that I want to mention. So Duskpunk, first of all, I haven't played it, but this is a narrative-driven RPG, and I met the developer at Adventure X, James Patton, who seems like a lovely, lovely guy, and that's gotten very good reviews, but I haven't played it. And I believe, Thomas, you played another kind of RPG as well. What was the name of that game again, if you don't?
That was Sovereign Syndicate.
Yes. No, and
It's
I've heard.
steampunk, actually. Just
Yes,
like
I really want to play that game as well.
yeah. This is slightly different in that you actually every chapter you take control of a different character, but all their stories are somehow connected. So every chapter you get to experience a different part of the narrative, and you can do different things, but there's not really there is no combat or anything, or just like in Disco Elysium. The way it was very well written, and I very much enjoyed playing it. It came out like a year ago, I think.
Yeah, so just wanted
January.
to mention that one. Not technically an adventure game. I think it's still good to mention that adventure game fans would enjoy it. But there is one narrative-driven RPG that I think would be very deserving of this award. Laura, you may or may not agree. I think you played it. It is Citizen Sleeper Starward Vector, which I absolutely loved. Have you played that game?
Yeah, I'm halfway through it now. I think it's a really good game, really well written, and lots of strategy involved. But it was really good.
Yeah, now the reason I did include it in my personal top 10 adventure games is because it is more of an RPG, there's dice rolling and there's it's clear it's more like a tabletop RPG game, but I think it's still something that adventure game fans would love. But it is absolutely fantastic. It's extremely well written. It gave me vibes of The Expanse, and people said it gave me vibes of Firefly
Yeah.
as well.
Okay, I'm gonna buy it. Stop it.
It's the sequel to Citizen Sleeper, which was a hit itself, and I haven't played that game yet, but I don't think you need to. I think you probably
No, you
get
don't. I
more.
haven't played it either. Yeah.
But yeah, so best narrative-driven RPG is Citizen Sleeper Starward Vector. There we go. We're not including it as an adventure game, but yes. So now, would you guys like to do honorable mentions now or later?
Let's do them later.
Yeah,
Let's
let's.
do it later.
It would be
Before
nice
we-
to crack into that top
Okay,
10.
let's-
Sure.
let us
Shall
crack
we do
in.
them? Shall we do them before we do the number one?
It will be
Yes.
2027 by the time else.
I know, I'm just kind of, building up suspense. I know people have said that I can talk a lot. But anyway, number 10. Shall we say what number 10 is? It's me.
No, just to clarify, sure, it's not the top 10.
I'm going to talk about it. So
Yes.
He's our number one, but he's not.
it's me going to this because we're all each going to discuss games that we've particularly played and enjoyed in the top 10. And at number 10, it is Expelled.
Hey.
Yes, it is from Inkle Studios, who have just released a new game. It is absolutely incredible. They've just released TR49 this year, but last year they released Expelled, an Overboard game. And I think it was Kieran, you mentioned to us that it's ridiculous that a game as good as Expelled is just number 10. And yeah, for me, it is, I think it's actually my number 10 on my personal list as well. But I really, really enjoyed it. It is similar to Overboard. You play as a girl in a school, and then there is another girl who falls out a window, and then you replay it, then you play the game, and then you have to see then what actually happened. You're telling the story to your dad, and then he said, actually, that doesn't sound quite right. So then you go again, and you learn a little bit more on each replay that you play. It's very short. It can be about, I think, 25 30 minutes, 20 minutes. So she falls out the window, but then maybe more would happen. And then throughout that, you have to go through different locations. And the objective of the game is not to get expelled, which is more difficult than it seems because you have to sneak into places, you have to try and turn people against each other, and you have to do different things to try and get to the truth. And you can also choose to be evil if you wanted to. And I just thought it's extremely well written. I absolutely love the writing in this game. It's really, really funny. It's really well written. It seems, I mean, again, it's similar to Overboard, but it seems slightly more polished to Overboard. But I'm not sure. I might have preferred Overboard slightly because I think at the time it was such an original concept. But I mean, John Ingle told me, he said, yeah, that they made that game very quickly and they had to spend more time on this game to polish it up a little bit more. But overall, it worked really, really well. I think I think some parts might have been a bit confusing. I think we were saying about I can't remember the evil-ometer, but it worked with it. I love the characters because I was first thinking, how are they going to set this game in girls' school? I believe it was 1922, but they have managed to do it, and they've managed to touch on sensitive topics, but they haven't really, gone too much into them, if you know. And the tone is still lighthearted, but there is, there's mystery, there's secrets, there's possible murder, there's different things that you can do in this game, and it's a morality system as well. So, and I love the look of it. I think it looks absolutely fantastic as well with that kind of the cartoony look as well. So even though it does look like a visual novel, but there's a lot more to it than you would think. You go back, and I know I don't usually replay games, but this one I did go back again and again.
Well, you have to. You have to
Yes.
replay it. Yeah, you can't
Yeah.
just play it once. That's the whole
No.
point. You've gotta-
I mean,
yeah.
with Inkle's previous game, a Highland Song, I did only play that once, but I think so. I definitely preferred this game overall. I think that this game worked for me better, and I know Highland Song people really love that game, but I did play this game multiple times, and I think you just. You discover more as you go, and I think that's the key. It never got too frustrating for me. It never got, too annoying to replay for me. That I was always engaged to try and find out more and more. And it's sneakily more challenging than you might expect to try and get the best ending or the correct ending. But yeah, so for me, at number 10 is Expelled, an Overboard game. And I would say I can't wait to see what Inkle Studios do next, but we know.
Well, we know.
Yeah.
It's out.
really-
TR49. That's
which
the
is
latest.
a very different type of game. Again, Inkle Studios, they
Very
always
different.
make something different. Does anybody else want to mention anything about this game?
Yeah. So I think there's only two of us that put it onto our list, and I was the other person that put it on. It's my number 5. And I'm not going to get too much into details. I think in April you can actually hear it ask us about Loom, about Overboard and Expelled, where I spoke to James Patton, the creator of Dustpunk, and we ended up talking about 2 hours about the games.
Oh, wow.
And I think after doing that episode, because of the conversation that we had talking about just how in depth the game can actually be, it actually went up post doing that episode. There's actually a lot of stuff in the game that's a lot smarter in terms of what it writes and stuff. There's a lot of interesting themes about kind of like free will and the morality of good versus evil, and a lot of darker stuff that you initially don't find and everything. And I think when I was replaying it, it's just the levels that the game goes to in terms of storytelling. It's remarkable at just what it manages to explore. And I don't want to go too much into it because a lot of the stuff can be classed as spoilers, because there are some quite serious topics and some quite dark topics that are kind of referenced into it. And then there's a nice kind of multiple different multiple threads of different types of themes that is actually quite smart. And when you can it kind of complements Overboard in certain ways, in that you can kind of see the evolution of what Inkle are doing. Now, I much prefer Expelled over Overboard, which I think is where we might disagree, but I think it's in an interesting way that I think you have to play Overboard to kind of get yourself primed, and then you get the added benefits of playing Expelled, because I make the comparison of if you play GTA Vice City and then play GTA San Andreas. Like, if you play GTA San Andreas first and then go to play Vice City, the amount of stuff that's in San Andreas, you're not gonna get much out of Vice City because you'll be comparing it to so and so. If you do it the other way, if you do it the other way around, you're gonna get more out of Vice City because you haven't got that bit first. And Expelled, I think, is just a demonstration of how the kind of their interactive open world, like quote unquote open world narratives that they've done, can just evolve, and it does it in such a way that what might seem a short premise in Overboard, they extend it in Expelled in such imaginative ways that I really don't want to spoil. So yeah, just play it. I mean, any other year, this would have been my number one. But again, 2025, it's my number 5. I mean, the amount of stuff in this game is ridiculous. So
Yeah, totally. I agree with that.
Yeah.
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 I haven't played
Fantastic.
Expelled yet, but now that it's in our top 10, I feel a little bit obliged to do so.
Yeah, I have the
So,
same thing.
But I haven't played it yet because I was so fed up playing Overboard. And I played that for 2 hours straight. And, one run only takes about 20 minutes.
Yeah.
But I got a bad ending, so I tried again and again. But there was so much repetition and doing all the same stuff and just doing one small thing
But you can skip
differently.
things. You skip through stuff that you've already done, so you don't experience that again. That's the that's how they get around you doing that.
Yeah.
Expelled has a mechanic and a narrative and a kind of narrative technique that stops it from. I mean, the game's about 4 or 5 times larger than Overboard, but there's a narrative technique it uses to not feel as repetitive, and the way when it starts doing that, it's very clever, and yeah. So I think they kind of taken something like those kind of criticisms from Overboard, and they've managed to kind of do something to try and get around that feeling of repetition.
Okay, that's good to hear.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. So that is our number 10 adventure game of the year, Expelled. So I think that just kind of shows you the quality of the games released this year. That's number 10. And not really because there was anything really not wrong with it, but that is because quality games that we're going to talk through now were just so good. So thank you guys for that. So at number 9, and I think this is probably also people consider it's going to be very low. That I don't think we get heat on it, but it's very low. Who wants to? Well, Thomas, you're going to talk about this. Can you reveal what game is our group number 9 adventure game of the year?
Yes, at number 9 we have Rosewater.
Yeah, for me it's low. I mean, I put this higher on my personal list.
Look at Shorsha trying to give us shade, by the way, for this. On his own podcast, he's like, well, it's pretty low. I have to say, anything in the top 10 has done really well.
That's true. No, I am
Why
kidding.
is he giving us shade?
Who thought?
Rosewater was number 9 in my list as well. So it's
People-
impossible to
No,
You have to get it higher.
He wants to direct Francisco's disappointment to us 5 rather than himself.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
Francisco, I don't know,
yeah.
Francisco. It's them. No, it wasn't my number 1. I mean, for me, it was number 6. I think so. It's not exactly a huge change.
I think what's worth pointing out as well is actually based on the algorithm how many people actually put it in their lists. Now this
Yeah,
is one of
we
few
all did.
games
Yes.
all of us put this in. So this
Yeah.
is one of I'm not going to reveal how many games we've all played, but yeah, all 6 of us played this.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it is a very good game. And as I said, every game on this list, and even some outside of this list, could have been number 1 in any other year. But this is just the best year for adventure gaming since, 1992? Something like that. But so
3, maybe. But
I
yeah.
think so.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Since
It's
ever.
like since the early yeah. There's also a case to be made that this is the best year for adventure gaming ever. So that makes Rosewater one of the best games of the year. So even if it comes in at number 9, and it deserves to be on this list because it is a great game. It has a very well written characters in it. The Western sphere. It takes place in the same universe as the first game. But it's not a direct sequel. It's just in the same area because it's taking place on a completely different continent. It's like an alternative America alternative, but it's very Western style, and I love that. The music is amazing. The voice acting is sublime. It's really well done, and there is a lot of replayability there as well because the way you interact with all the other characters that at one point travel with you can have a impact on how the game ends, even though you might not realize it while you're playing the game. So the I had a ton of fun with this, and I'm definitely going to return to it at one point and see if I can make some other choices or see if I can change the ending a bit. But yeah, it fleshes out the world so much more. There are references to the first game, but if you don't get them, then that's okay. But if you do get them, that's fun. That's the way a good reference should be. So yeah, Rosewater definitely 100% deserves to be on the top in the top 10 of the best games of 2025.
What I liked about Rosewater, the middle part of the game, you actually go on small missions, little missions that have something to do with all these side characters. And the game actually has a huge database of these missions. But during one playthrough, you only get a select couple games, a couple of quests that you can go on. So you actually have to replay to see the entire story of what is possible in this world of Rosewater. So there's a little bit of randomization in there of what you will see during your playthrough, and of course that will have an effect on your relationships with the other characters, which will then indeed define the ending you will see. So that's amazing what has been put in there in that game.
And
Absolutely.
there's so much linearity of those little sequences. There seems to be a lot of the sequences you can do well, you can do badly. There are different ways you can approach these situations. That might be true of all of them. I don't know. It was certainly true of a lot of the ones that I encountered, that you could go about them these different ways. Sometimes I just failed. I just didn't manage it very well at all. Other times I felt incredibly clever because there was that possibility of doing it slightly worse. But I thought of something clever and it did it and it worked. And that just felt great.
Yeah. Absolutely. And I do hope that I know I think Francisco said that he wanted to do something different for his next game, but I do hope that he returns to this world because
Mm.
he's created a very compelling world that I want to play more in. So
The
Yeah.
ensemble is, I think, it's one of the better kind of ensemble of characters of the
oh,
year. I think
absolutely.
it's very well written. I quite liken the kind of middle section to being kind of like what I think people mischaracterize in TV shows as filler episodes, when in fact I think they're the kind of episodes of TV where, okay, they might not be forwarding the overarching plot, but what they do, they kind of flesh out the characters and you get to know
Yeah.
the characters more. And
Exactly.
that middle section gets you to kind of really care about the characters. I think as you play as Harley, you can kind of dictate which characters you kind of spend time with, or you can and craft your own kind of relationships with characters. I think your actions, and I think at one point there's actually a romance that can happen between two of the characters in that party if you do some interactions correctly as well. But it's all based on how you play, and I just think by the time you get to the like the last part of the game, like you kind of really care for the ensemble. So when stuff starts happening to the characters, you kind of you're with them, and I think it's a testament to the writing of that ensemble.
Yeah,
Y-
I
y-
100% agree.
Yes, one of the things that I liked, and again, we did review this game in full, so I think we spent like 30 minutes before talking about this game, so people can go back and listen to our full review. But one of the things that I liked is in so many adventure games, you're borderline evil is the main character. But in this game, it's about helping others as well. For example, like in the theater, that there's the theater director who's trying to put on a show, but for different reasons, it's not going well. And then all the characters are really using their skills. There's the character who works well with fire, and he's helping the character put on pyrotechnics. There's another boxer who's helping one of the actors, with boxing scenes, and I use Harley Leger. You're going around solving these puzzles and trying to just help everyone. And that's one of the things that I really liked, that he felt good playing it. You know, you weren't destroying people's lives just to get like a nail board or to go into a lock through a locked door. You know, that you were helping them and going on adventure as well. Yeah, I mean, it's absolutely fantastic. I think the amount of work that Francisco put into this game, you could see. I also interviewed the main composer, Mark Bennis, for the podcast, and he went into detail about all the ways that he did the music and the sound and the other people he worked with. And it just felt like everyone involved was like, okay, let us just do everything possible to make this game as good as possible. You know, we'll take our time. We won't rush this. If people we want to work with, we'll try and work with them. In many cases, they did. And it's absolutely fantastic. And now I was being slightly facetious about it being low. It is for me a bit low, but I think the very fact it is in the top 10 shows it's a fantastic game, because when we mentioned our honorable mentions, there will be some great games that did not make our top 10. So I'm delighted it is number 9 as well. I'm delighted it's in the top 10 because it fully deserves it. And yeah, I think nearly any other year it'd definitely be higher. It could even be number 1. I mean, from early 2020s or whatever, it could probably be number 1, but this year it's number 9. So fantastic. So Rosewater, huge congrats to Francisco Gonzalez and the team. And yeah, like you said, Thomas, one of the things I love is the world building, and I really hope that they go back to Vespuccia, because I'd love to see what else they can do in this world. So yeah, that is number 9, is Rosewater. Number 8, who's this now? Oh, so Laura, would you like to reveal what was our number 8 adventure game of the year?
Indeed, and it is The Root Trees Are Dead, which is by Evil Trout Inc. And this is kind of in the vein of deduction games like Return of the Obra Dinn. The idea is that you've got this sort of multi-millionaire family, the Root Trees. Unfortunately, as the title perhaps suggests, a private jet crashes, and it's belonging to the Root Tree Corporation. On it were the Root Tree sisters and their parents. They're worth billions of dollars, and you're kind of hired to work out who is a blood relative who might be able to get this fortune from the Root Tree family now that they have passed away. And you do this, it's very clever. You've got this kind of inbuilt web search system, and you can just type in anything and it will bring up articles about the Root Trees, pictures about them, and you've got to piece together. You've got this family tree. You've got to piece together who is who, what their job is. You've got their first name, their last name, and their picture and occupation. And you've basically just got to put together this timeline. And as you do it, you know, you get all the gossip of the family, all these secrets that have been hidden for all these years. You're also kind of working out, who is this person who's asked me to do this? What's their sort of part in all of this? So there's lots of little mysteries that are part of it. It's worth saying this was originally, it was a free itch.io game, but then Robin Ward, aka Evil Trout, he basically came and jazzed it up. He made it look a lot better. He changed the art. He added a really nice kind of jazzy soundtrack. He added a whole extra section called Root Tree Mania, which is an even harder little bit where there's loads more mysteries you've got to solve. And then it came out on Steam. So it's basically all been reimagined. And sort of upgraded basically, and there's loads of little extra Easter eggs and so on. But what I loved about this is I think we're in a kind of golden age for these sorts of deduction games at the moment. We have Case of the Golden Idol, we had Obra Dinn, and I think Root Trees is almost the next step on that, because the excitement you feel when you get a couple of the names and the occupations right, you just feel so clever. And it has to be done with you doing actual detective work. You're searching through the files, you're making notes, and when you do get things correct, it just feels wonderful. And I think they've not made it too difficult. There are one or two bits that are hard, but most of it, you get the idea of what you've got to do, and you get those aha moments, and it just feels great. And it feels like, I've got to say, 2026, it feels like there's going to be lots more of these games that are coming out now. So I can't wait to play them as well. I'm really looking forward to the one Robin Ward is also updating. There's a game called Type Help, which was on itch, and he's updating that, and that's going to be the instant at Galley House, which is coming out later this year. So can't wait for that. But Root Trees, yeah, it's just another fantastic deduction game, and there is a really interesting story as well, so I think that's also where the adventure aspect comes in. But it's fantastic. I just really enjoyed it. It's a game that I just couldn't put down. It was really hard for me to stop playing. I'd get the sort of aha moment, and then I'd be like, okay, well now I need to do a bit more.
Yeah.
And I think they're fantastic for that, those games. So yeah, I can't wait to see what they do next. But it's just a really fun deduction game.
And it's set up in a way that even if you only have a few names left, like a few people left, it's still challenging to find them. Like you have this list of names, but there are more names than there are people you need to find. So you never really know until you do the actual detective. It's very hard to brute force this
Completely.
without any information. And they have a very good hint system. I had to use it once or twice, and because sometimes you just overlook things, and then the hint system, you say like, are you sure you want a hint? Yes, okay. Then they give you like a fake hint, and then the hints become more and more clearer, but only if you want to. It's not like you can you don't have to do that. So that I thought that was very, very well done, and it added to the whole thing. Yeah, it was a great game.
It's got a real sense of fun as well. It's got just loads of cute little touches, which it doesn't need to do. Like they're not part of the puzzles or any of that. But it stops it being a sort of dry puzzle game. That there's all these little pieces of, because it's a very old, is it late 90s or early noughties? It's got these little references to sort of forum posts and that sort of style. And at one point you get a kind of teen culture magazine, and it's got a little article on how to know if he's interested and all this kind of stuff. There's just these cute little touches that keep a smile on your face and are funny and fun, that are separate from those puzzles, and it stops it being a dry detective thing. You're still doing all that and having those good aha moments, but in and amongst, the writing is just fun. It's just great. It's really enjoyable, separate from all of the puzzles as well.
Yeah, it really takes you into that world, I think.
I quite enjoyed it. I think as I struggled on the demo with like the first Golden Idol game, because I found it quite difficult. I found this a lot more of an entryway into the kind of deduction games. The hint system helped a lot, because I've said it before. Like if I get stuck in a game for 5 minutes, I'm finding a walkthrough. I'm trying to find hints. I can't have patience to spend like an hour trying to do something. But the overall arcing story, the presentation, I found was good. I found it quite a lot of fun. It was the touches that Kieran mentioned. It was just like, because it's so full of them, they're just very entertaining. That you could just spend time just, even if you do get frustrated, you can just end up just reading all this extra information. There's like a bunch of kind of songs written for the game as well, which are quite fun. That are built in universe that you can actually listen to a good chunk of them. But yeah, I just found it quite. I just found myself invested, and again, one of the better hint systems in a game. Every game needs a hint duck.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
It was a great hint system. I played it only recently. I wasn't able to play it last year, but I played it at start of this month, I think. And I got stuck a couple of times as well, I admit it. But what's so great about the hint system is you get stuck because you fail to research particular subjects. And then the hint system, when you ask for a hint, it just says, well, look at this internet page or this magazine page. There's something there where you can find more information about. And then you know, oh, okay, so you go back to that page, you read it again, and then you see, oh, perhaps this, I could put this in the search bar, and then you're off again on your investigation. And that's so well put together indeed. And that's all the hints that I actually needed. I never had to go further into the hint system to get more detailed information about them. Just a little bit guidance of, look, this is where you have to concentrate on, and if you do it well, you can continue again.
Okay, so I think I'm the only one who hasn't played it.
Get on it.
The six of us. But no, but it sounds like it's a fantastic game. And I think when we reviewed it, it came out early in the year, and I think we did mention that it would probably be on the top 10 list if because you guys really enjoy it. So I'm
It's
delighted
my number
that it
two.
is. You're number two. Okay, so. So you're probably thinking it is quite low then, Laura.
There's
Like I
no
thought
lows in a top 10,
that is
George.
true. That is true. No, but
was
it's
my number
great that
six.
it's on the top 10 list.
It was my
Sorry, Matt?
six. It was not. It was my number six.
Okay. Well, I don't have much to add because I haven't played it. So, but thank you for everyone for sharing. I'll have to get on it. So now the root trees are dead at number 8. Now, number 7. Ooh, this is an interesting one, I believe. Kieran, can you tell us what our number 7 adventure game of the year is?
Yeah, so number 7 is Kathy Rain 2. This was a highly anticipated sequel. Kathy Rain, the original Kathy Rain, was very well liked, very well received. It's a sort of a very classic, traditional 2D point and click with great art. It's got a great story. It's sort of this detective story that goes into a slightly occult, slightly surreal route. And yeah, Kathy Rain 1 was loved, and so there was a lot of anticipation for Kathy Rain 2. And did it live up to it? Yes, it did. Kathy Rain 2 is absolutely brilliant. It's got the same sort of beats and shifts as the original had. It starts off with this you are Kathy Rain, and you are investigating these serial killings, the soothsayer serial killings. And again, just like the first, it navigates this really interesting descent into a more surreal, sort of occult kind of explanation behind these killings. The All of the elements that you look for in a traditional 2D point and click, it absolutely nails. The art is gorgeous. The animations, there's all these dynamic animations with wind, with rain, with lighting as you're moving in and out of this neon lighting. The setting is the late 90s, and it captures that incredibly well. And the puzzles are great. There's a lot in here which are actually sort of observation puzzles. You really have to study a scene, even things that you can't necessarily click on or interact with directly. You have to really understand what's happening in different scenes at different points to fully get your way to the answer. There are some answers that
Oh,
actually have to be typed in as well, and you have to sort of search on like a library search. So you have to really know what it is. You can't just brute force different things with everything together, as sometimes becomes the case with this sort of traditional puzzling. And yeah, it's fantastic. It does it really well. There's a really nice original idea. I think this is the only game that does it, which is when you're talking to someone, you can bring up an interaction where you bring up basically anything on the screen. So it's essentially the equivalent of pointing and saying, well, what do you know about that over there? Or what can you tell me about this over here? And it makes complete sense. It seems so natural. And it seems strange occasionally in a game that if you can't talk to someone about the thing that they're standing right next to. This completely gets around that by you have a notebook. You can talk about the things that you've made notes on. You can bring up different topics. You can talk about anything that's on screen. And that really helps with this immersion. It feels very natural. It feels like a really, really good traditional 2D point and click adventure game. So yeah, Kathy Rain 2, it definitely lives up to the original. So if you played and enjoyed the original, check out Kathy Rain 2. And even if you haven't and you like traditional 2D point and click adventure games, if you don't like traditional 2D click and point and click adventure games, why are you listening? But if you do, then definitely check out Kathy Rain 2. It's a brilliant example of it.
Well, thank you, Kieran. It's another game that I still have to play. I remember I played Cathy Rain 1 when it first came out about 10 years ago now, and I really, really loved it. So I really want to play that game, but I just haven't got around to it. But again, I'm delighted that it is in our top 10. So that is Cathy Rain 2, which is number 7. So now, number 6 then. Number 6, Thomas. Can you let us know what our number 6 adventure game of the year is?
I can. The number six is a game that is created by the brilliant minds of former Telltale
Woo!
developers and Critical Role, the role-playing Dungeons and Dragons guys, which is Dispatch. A
Woo!
yeah, a game where you don't play the superhero, but play the guy in the chair, literally. So, because every superhero has to have that guy in the chair who helps him out. And in Dispatch, you are a former superhero who someone like Iron Man who has a suit, but the suit is completely destroyed, and he can't be the superhero anymore that he used to be. So he gets recruited by a company that sends out superheroes to yeah, to fix things, to help people. And he gets the worst team of them all. He gets the worst superheroes of them all. Most of them are reformed villains. They are trying to keep on the straight and narrow. So he has to use his charisma and his experience, even though they don't know who he actually is, to help these people. And all the while, you also have the possibility of romancing certain characters, and you have to keep the team at a certain level. So you also have to fire people and deal with the consequences of that. So the game is basically two things going on. There's one is the interactive story where you make decisions on what you say and what you do, and that affects people. Like you get this, this and this person will remember that idea. And the other one is the whole dispatching. Well, I would say mini game, but it's actually just part of it where you go and you actually send out the heroes and you help them, and you also make decisions, but you also can help them by doing hacking mini games and stuff like that. So that's more of the kind of arcade section, for lack of a better word. It's not like you really need to have quick reflexes for that, but it helps. But and it all comes together. But the funniest thing about when you're playing the dispatch section is all the banter that's going on between all the characters, because they can't stop talking, and it's really funny. So the game is really funny. It is very much an adult themed game. This is not for kids, even though it's about superheroes. I would say this is something like Invincible meets The Boys. If you're familiar with those titles, you know what I'm talking about on the
Yeah.
level of maturity that is in these games. It's very funny. The animation is stunning. It is better animation than Invincible, if I have to say. And it's 8 chapters of fun. It was released periodically, so every week you got 2 new chapters. And I was really looking forward to playing those new chapters. Like, oh, it's Wednesday. Oh, cool. A new episode of this, and then 2 new episodes of 2 new chapters of Dispatch. And the fact that it sold for, I think by now over 3 million copies or something like that, like a ridiculous amount for a story-based game like this, means it not only is a good adventure, it is a very good game, and on all the lists of just being one of the best games of 2025 in general. So that is Dispatch on position 6 for our list.
Yeah, thank you, Thomas. No, I love this game, and I mean, it wasn't my number one, but it's probably the game I had most fun playing. That I was laughing while playing it. I like loved the characters and the interaction, as you mentioned. The acting was amazing. It looks amazing, and just there was that song in karaoke that the character Flambe sang, which not sure we can repeat anything that he says, but it was so funny. And yeah, and I know that there were people out there saying online, "No, this not only is this not an adventure game, they're saying this is not a game. You're just interacting." And I don't agree. I can understand to the point, but they don't. There is no exploration in this game. They've removed that aspect, but they do have that, as you mentioned, Thomas, a strategy element. And I wasn't sure before I started playing the game. I played the demo, and I wasn't sure I was going to enjoy it. even when I played the demo, I was not sure I would get it. But when I played the game, I absolutely loved it as well. And yeah, it's just a huge amount of fun. So, like Thomas said, and I've heard so many people saying that they're having, superhero fatigue at the moment, but this game kind of brought them back to loving superheroes again. And I think it's just an amazing game. It's an amazingly written game and a really well made game that, those when you're at the dispatching part of the game, I think that that could be part of a game, in a new game plus mode, and I think people would really enjoy it. But it's part of the story as well. So yeah, so number 6 is Dispatch. Thank you, Thomas. And now we're getting into the top 5. So at number 5 is and Laura, I believe it's you. Want to tell us what our number 5 adventure game of the year is?
I can indeed, and it's Blueprints.
Woo!
Really, really interesting game by Doggy Bomb. Their debut game. They have made films and other media, but this is the very first game that they made, and what a debut game to create. Yeah, I think this kind of took it sort of indie reviews by storm. Everyone was talking about it when it came out originally in April in 2025. I love this game. I put it on my number 1. It is it's a puzzle game, but with a fascinating layered narrative that you unpick as you go. And the idea around it is your uncle has left you this mansion, and basically it's yours if you can work out how to get to room 46. And the way of doing that is you've got to draft your way through the house and uncover hundreds and hundreds of puzzles that you discover as you enter each room. And the idea is, for each room, you've got a pick of 3 different rooms that you can pick, and then you draft that room. So, for example, you might have a chapel, a terrace, or a pantry, and each one has got certain characteristics and certain doorways and paths. You've got 50 steps to try, at least when you start out, to try and get to this room 46, and you're also trying to work out, well, what is room 46? How do I get there? You've got this kind of blueprint of the house, and as you step through, you go to each room, and you go further and further in your journey. There's keys that you can pick up which you can help you unlock certain doors. There's gems which also unlock certain things. Each room has its own characteristics. It's got its own puzzles within. There are broader puzzles throughout several rooms that you have to unlock. I just think it was such a unique game. We've seen the kind of roguelike games where it comes to, each time you go through a level and you die and you return to the beginning, you get an enhanced weapon. But this was sort of doing roguelikes, but with knowledge, which I thought was such an interesting concept, and with puzzles. So each time you run out of your 50 steps, you have to restart the day, and you don't have anything that you got that day basically with you, any of the items. There's 1 or 2 things that you carry on, but most things you don't. But you have the knowledge, and that was what is very interesting. I know some people have called this like a Metroid Brainia, the idea that you're exploring, and that's not a term I've coined. A lot of people have coined that, but I think that really fits with the idea of you're exploring, you unlock new things, you keep that knowledge with you, and then you keep going. And it's just, even when you see the credits and you get to that part of it, that's kind of when the game opens up, and there's so much more to do then. And I have played about over 100 hours of this game now, and I'm still nowhere near sort of fully completing it. And it is a game you can dip into. You can just do a little bit and then leave it for the day. You probably won't want to, because again, it's another, I think all my top 5 games have been like ones that I've just found really addictive and I haven't been able to put down. So that it really sort of scratched an itch for that. And yeah, I do know that obviously some people have found this game frustrating at times. It is a bit of a Marmite game in the sense that a lot of it depends on the sort of RNG of, will I get the room that I need to complete this side of the puzzle? So it is frustrating. I'm not saying it's a perfect game, but I think for the unique things it's doing, its cleverness, its inventiveness, it definitely deserves to be in the top 10.
I agree. It's an amazing game. I have over 80 hours in it. I had to physically stop myself from playing it so I could play other games as well. and I've everything in that game is a hint for something.
Yeah.
It seems, and I remember Johnny and myself were playing at the same time, and we were just comparing things like, oh, have you found this? No, I've never heard of that. Oh, and have you found this? And no, that's new. So like, even if you're playing the same game, you're discovering completely different things, and it was also fun. I think, and Johnny can attest to that. I think this is a game that's amazingly fun to play with your partner in the same room, and trying to figure out all the puzzles. And I must say, some of these puzzles were not for me, and I just looked them up.
Yeah,
But
same.
others, yeah, I like these Mora J boxes where you have to go into certain order to get. Yeah, sorry, I'm not even starting those. I just looked those up straight away. Like, not gonna. Those are not for me. But others was really rewarding to get to find out what it was, and just finding these clues, and then sometimes seemingly randomly discover something because she did something in the right order. Or yeah, amazing game with so many surprises. And I don't think I'm with 80 hours in. I think I'm halfway or something. There are still some things that I want to try, and like, you can have average run is probably an hour, but you can have a run like I remember I had a run like 20 minutes. And I'm like, oh, this was absolutely a waste of time. I'm gonna do one more, and if that doesn't bring me anything, then, and that was the run that I managed to get to room 46. So it can go every way, and even a run that doesn't bring you that much is valuable. So yeah, this is a fantastic game.
Thank
Exactly.
you.
Amazing
Sorry,
game.
Johnny, go ahead. Yes.
Amazing game indeed. Like Thomas said, I've played it as well, and I played it together with my wife, which was pure fun because indeed there were some things that I couldn't solve, but that she was very good at. For instance, the math problems with the dartboard and the classroom exam that you have to take. She figured out everything. But then the Mora J boxes, that was more my thing to solve. So that was very, very fun. We got about 110 hours in the game. We're currently, I think, around day 65 in game. But Blueprints would have been higher in my own top 10. I think it's now number 5 or something. No, number seven. Because, well, we've reached that point where it's just impossible to continue. We're completely stuck. We have solved so many things, and there are only a couple of things left to figure out. And indeed, with the RNG system, it's very hard to get the necessary information in one run. And also, I've looked up some clues in walkthroughs, and the things I've seen in that walkthrough, there's no way that we could have figured that out on our own. So I think there's so much to see in this game. It's incredible, the layers that have been put in there. But at one point, it gets so difficult that it's far more than just frustrating. It's just impossible to figure it out. And the people who can figure it out, I mean, total respect for those guys who do that, because I have no idea how you're supposed to figure out some of these puzzles. So
I think a Steam review put it quite correctly that this is a game for absolute puzzle degenerates, and I think that sums it up very well.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't played. I think Matt and I are the only two who haven't played it, and I don't think I will. Not because it's a bad game, but it's. I mean, I know you guys say credits is shorter, but when I hear everyone say that they spent up to 100 hours playing the game, I'm like, I can't remember last
But
time.
that's
because
we wanted to, Sure.
I know, but that's
so
what
good.
But that's what I'm scared of. That I won't play any other game if I do play it.
We've managed it. Come on, just get on with it.
Oh, I don't know.
I've always played it in between the other games because I had to wait for my wife, of course, to join. And instead of watching some stupid TV show, you just did another run, one run or two runs, never anything more. So about 1 hour.
Yeah. We'll
hour
see.
and a half, and it was very, very fun.
Those really annoying kind of hipsterish people go, oh, I've never owned a TV, or I don't own a smartphone, or I haven't got, or something like that. Yeah, I'm going to be I've not played Blueprints, which I think is going to be the same level of those kind of really annoying people who just seem to just use it to deliberately antagonise people. So yeah.
Yeah, your loss.
I know.
Yes, it's your loss. You're
No,
the one
I-
losing
I-
out.
I know, and this game did break into the mainstream. That a lot of people spoke about it, and loved it as well. So I might play it at some point, but there's just been so many other games. But I am very happy that it is in the top 10. I think it's well deserved from everything I've heard about it. And yeah, it seems to be an absolutely fantastic game, and I'm delighted that it has reached, the mainstream as well, because a lot of adventure/puzzle games don't.
I think if Claire Obscure hadn't been this brilliant a game, then this game would have won even more awards in
I
the past
agree,
year
yeah.
because, yeah, it was a stunning first game for people.
Can't
And we
wait to
have,
see what they do next.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And also based on a sort of a choose your own adventure kind of book.
Yes.
Very
So-
much influenced by that. So
Perfect. Okay. Well, next, at number 4. Johnny, would you like to reveal what our number 4 adventure game is?
Naturally, because it was personally my number 1 game of 2025, and it's Old Skies by Watch It Eye Games, which is, I think, the best game that they have made so far. I haven't played through their entire catalog yet. There are some games I still have to play, but it's the best so far that I've seen. Old Skies, you play as Fia Quinn, and she works for a company called Chronozen, which works as a kind of travel agency, you might say, but across time instead of across the geographical world. So it's your job to accompany travelers and keep them safe, and also the time that they're traveling to safe. So you can think of them a little bit as a time police, you might say. And of course, this wouldn't be much of an adventure game if things didn't go wrong. So to give an example, during about the first hour of gameplay, you have to accompany a dying man to the past because he wants to go eat a burger at his favorite burger joint when he was in college. But then something's happened. He tricks everyone and he escapes from your guard. And because he wants to go on a personal mission he didn't tell you about. And then you have to track him down. So the game is made up of several of these missions where lots of things go wrong, and then you have to fix everything again. And well, Old Sky doesn't really feel like a game to me. It feels more like a work of art. It felt like entertainment of a whole other level for me. Its graphical style doesn't look like any other Watch It Eye game from before. So it's not that pixel arty. It's more sharper, more detailed graphics. The game has this constant jazzy, bluesy soundtrack that's just very easy on the ears, very fun to listen to. And then Fia, the main character, she is voiced by Sally Beaumont, the incredible Sally Beaumont, I might say, who also worked as a writer on the game and wrote much of the dialogue herself. Now, when it comes to puzzles, it feels very much like the Blackwell series, because you don't really have to solve puzzles or combine items or stuff like that. It's mostly about figuring things out to progress the story. You talk to people, you're in the Chronozen historical archives, and then you find the necessary information you need to progress the story and to continue your mission. So, for instance, the first real puzzle in the game is to find out a combination of a door lock. So you have to go into the archives to find out about the manufacturing of that lock and to figure out how that works exactly. And the story, it progresses at a natural pace through dialogue and cutscenes. And I really love this kind of more linear gameplay. I never felt like I was really stuck at some point at some obtuse puzzle or other. It's one huge story, interactive story, and I really enjoyed the heck out of this game. I had a very, very great time with it. And it really is my personal number 1 of last year. So I'm very glad that it's included in our top 10 at this number 4 spot.
Yeah, this was my second game of the like number two game of the year. And to be fair, I was like. Like my top five, 4 or 5 were like trying to battle it out, and I think the only reason I ended up saying this wasn't number one was because I think I preferred Unavowed slightly more than this, but there's nothing to do, but doesn't take anything away from Old Skies. I think pretty much a lot of stuff what Johnny said is true. I think yeah, I think graphically, I don't think any other Wedge Eyes looked better, and it's probably the best game that Dave Gilbert's done. That's I think Ben Chandler's art is just like gone up a level. He's raised his own standards. The level of storytelling and and also I think the care given to the way that the time travel mechanics are implemented is done in a certain way that I don't think I've seen in any other kind of time travel fiction before, and it gives it a kind of unique kind of it's like a uniqueness to it that just really works and completely well acted, and I think it's just a testament. And the fact that this isn't number one again shows you that because of 2025, it's just it's sat in it's like sat in a sea of just high prestige indie adventure games, and it's just absolutely I adore the game. Just it's brilliant.
I thought the
Excellent.
one of the missions takes place one day before 9/11, and I thought that was absolutely brilliantly written. And of course, Dave Gilbert is from New York. He lived through that, so he got a lot out of his personal experience and put it in that chapter. I thought he said it was therapeutic for him to write that. I can imagine that, but it was very, very well done. And there's also this almost slapsticky chapter or mission where you have to also keep in mind that you can't run into yourself. Yeah, it's hard to explain, but that was an incredibly fun. Like that was all fun and funny all the way. So there's a lot of different tones to all the different missions, but without um, yeah, not to detriment of the entire game. I mean, the entire game has its own tone and atmosphere, so it was very, very well done.
I love how Dave Gilbert writes stories and characters. There's a consistent kind of tone and a consistent style. So like, and it felt like, I mean, it just felt like picking up a new book from a favorite author. Something you kind of know what to expect, but also be surprised at the same time. So yeah, so I just love how he manages to tell stories in this kind of interactive way, and yeah, I was part of me was slightly annoyed that I just couldn't put it down. Part of me wanted to sit down and kind of take my time with it, but then as soon as I started, I just like finished it in about 2 or 3 days because it's
Yeah,
just that involving.
but that's what a good book does as well. You can't put it down. A good game has the same effect.
True.
I really enjoyed how they switched between kind of very dramatic scenes and then the more comedy, very humoristic scenes, like the one you mentioned, Thomas. That one mission you go on is basically like the Back to the Future 2
Yeah,
style of
Yes.
yeah,
storyline there.
definitely.
And well, forgot to mention, you actually die in this game, but you have to die. And the
Over and
time
over
travel,
again.
yeah, the time travel
Yeah.
system has this kind of fail-safe where the operator can rewind time for you, so that Via returns to the point right before that you do something stupid or something happens that causes her death, and then you have to try to prevent that and figure out how you can avoid dying, and that's I really like that style of puzzling in this game.
That sounds like a really decent mechanic. I wonder if anyone else has thought about using that mechanic of characters dying and having to work out not to die.
Well, we shall see. So
This is also the second game on this list where all 6 of us played it.
yes.
Yeah.
So yes, now people can go back and listen to our full review. We did, I think, with same time with Rosewater, we did spend another 30 minutes, not giving any spoilers, but just talking in detail about it. So they can go back and listen to us talk about Old Skies back in a previous episode, I think before the summer. It is there as well. So number 4 is Old Skies by Dave Gilbert and Wajidai. And yeah, I agree with just everything that you guys said. Absolutely fantastic as well. So now number 3, our number
Ooh,
3 adventure
Top
game of the year.
three.
the top three.
So Matt, can you reveal what our number 3 adventure game of the year is?
I think I can, Sersha, yes. So our third group collective game of the year is my number 1. So this is my top game of the
You quite
year.
enjoyed it then.
Yes, yes. It is the debut game from Inglewood Studios, Foolish Mortals.
Foolish
And
mortals.
yes, and I don't know where to begin with this. It feels like an answer to an unfair criticism that sometimes modern adventure games get, that either they're they either feel like interactive novels, or they're too short, or they just don't seem to be as vast as like the 90s heyday. I think there's a mixture of reasons for that. One, smaller development teams and developers probably don't have time to create a Monkey Island 2 size game, and just because of the evolution of the genre itself. But this one, I think it feels like a game that was made in like 2000, like 1999, 2000. It's like it's a full length game. It's got like non-linear paths. It's got brilliant artwork, and it just plays like a game you would does. When Ron Gilbert created Thimbleweed Park, he said that he created it because he wanted to give you the impression. He wanted a game that made you play the memory of games like Maniac Mansion, and that Thimbleweed Park came from that. Here, I think it's something similar, where you have an adventure game that's kind of celebrates the stuff that came before it, and kind of manages to just feel like an old school adventure game in the modern day. So for those who haven't played it, what you're doing, you're playing I'm not exactly sure what his job is. Murphy McCallaghan, I think, he's a insurance auditor.
Yeah.
Yeah, an
He's an
auditor, I
auditor.
think. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, Laura.
Who's come to kind of track like a missing treasure or something that's involving with this family, and then basically ends up getting embroiled in the history of this family, where pretty much 3 brothers died on their little sister's wedding day. There's a whole mystery about why suddenly everyone in this house died, and I don't really want to spoil much anything else, but it involves ghosts and like ghosts on a very kind of creepy looking island. So yeah, I'm not going to spoil too much on the plot, because what you need to do is play it yourself. I think there's a lot of in the game kind of manages to kind of trigger kind of nostalgic kind of pangs as well, for kind of there's little tricks which kind of help you, which are nods to games past, but it doesn't do it in the usual kind of slightly lazy way that I think beginning developers sometimes do, where it's like, oh look, there's a Max Head, or someone somewhere says I'm selling leather jackets, or that kind of stuff. What this does, it kind of has kind of little nods, to kind of games past, but not explicit references. There's a kind of really kind of good scene, which is a big reference, which works very similar to a certain scene in Curse of Monkey Island. The graphics themselves are a mixture of, the backgrounds feel very similar to Bill Teller's Curse of Monkey Island backgrounds. The characters look like they've just come from Broken Sword games. I think it might be slightly cheating, but I think all the dialogue font is the exact same font that's used in Curse of Monkey Island. So I think that's just another synaptic kind of thing to kind of make you feel more comfortable with it. It's just kind of little things like that, where they kind of take what could be adventure game tropes but twist them on their head. There's non-linearity in its puzzles. There's like this, where you have like at one point you've got 3 things you have to do. One point there's you have 7 different things you can do in any order to advance. And yeah, it just seems to feel like a comforting blanket of no, we're still here. We can still feel like we're from the 90s, yet to also have that modern sensibility to tackle that.
And modern gameplay.
Yes, exactly. Yes, there's two very well implemented hint systems that are used quite a bit, as I said.
Hmm.
It's not exactly a hint duck, but you have a kind of journal which can gradually reveal stuff. But there's also a kind of dynamic hint system where, like, and you can adjust the frequency of this in the settings where you'll be walking around, and if you've been walking around for a few, like 5-10 minutes, Murphy could go, maybe I should do this, or this thing in my inventory looks like it might be useful in this sort of place. It's and it's a kind of dynamic thing. So if you don't want the explicit kind of basic walkthrough that you can get, the game can kind of direct you to that. And I use the combination of those two quite a bit.
Uh, yeah, I just recently finished playing it myself, and I really, really enjoy. I think it, as you said, it has everything. It has the puzzles, it has the story, it has the voice acting, and should also mention that Francisco Gonzalez and Jess Haskins
Mm-hmm.
directed the voices of the voice work on Foolish Mortals. So what a year for them! You know, Rosewater first of all released, and then Foolish Mortals, which they had a huge, huge impact on the quality of it. So huge credit to them. But yeah, it's a first game as well
Yeah,
for
it's
David and
ridiculous.
Sophie
Yeah,
Younger, and it's.
it's
I mean, this isn't just good for a first game. It's absolutely amazing. Like it's higher
I'd
than
like
other
I'd
games.
like sorry to interrupt, but
No, go ahead.
I'd like to highlight the animations in this
Yes.
game because I've played many games in the past year where when you do a certain action, the screen suddenly goes black and then you hear in the background character doing his thing and then the scene comes back. But here in Foolish Mortals, everything you do, everything Murphy does in this game is animated. Every
Mm,
object you pick up, he puts in his pocket. Every hotspot you manipulate, you actually see him forming that action. And there are thousands of
it's
animations in this game. And for me, it's the number two spot in my personal top 10. And this is actually part of that because they don't take shortcuts in this
mm.
game. The developers, they
that's
put in all that work to make a complete and wonderful adventure game.
that's
It's
It's clear
amazing.
that they are fans of the genre themselves because they looked at what works and what doesn't work in previous adventure games and try to mainly focus on everything that works in their own game. So I can't believe this is the first game. It's absolutely ridiculous.
didn't I think David Younger, one of the designers, write a book about puzzle design
Mm-hmm.
as well? Because I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure he was trying to.
Yes.
I'm sure he was selling that book at Adventure X 2023. I'm not read it, but
And also,
I,
he's a theme park designer.
Mm.
That's so it's
yes, he's
interesting because obviously with the Secret of Monkey Island, that was kind of based on Pirates of the Caribbean, and this is based on the kind of haunted mansion sort of roller coaster. And you could sort of see that aesthetic throughout, obviously with the kind of ghosts and things like that, but also the animations, the way it looks. But it's just cool that it's sort of again, like you were saying, Matt, another nod to that sort of adventure game classics where it is giving a sort of relationship with a roller coaster, but it's its own complete story. But I just thought that was a cool little nod, and I think with him being so adept at building those kind of stories just through rides, I assume he's obviously sort of taken that element and put it into the games as well. And yeah, there's loads of little details with the characters that you discover as you go on. And yeah, but as you said, it's just a really, really well done and amazing. Even if he has got experience in world building, it's still completely different to do that for a game. So it's fantastic that both of them, as a couple, have been able to do this.
yeah. I think what might annoy everybody else is that every other developer is that like you've got a very small team that's able to create this like remarkable game that like it's like oh crap the standard's been raised again.
Yeah. Damn you, David and Sophie.
And
Yes.
the music is wonderful. You know, it is
Yes.
like a
Oh,
you
that
know
intermezzo.
composer and the interactive song. I've been listening to it on loop now afterwards. And
Yeah, they created a completely original song, which is a puzzle in itself. It's
yes, yeah. No, it's so huge, huge congratulations. And it's number three. Any other year would be number one I
Yeah.
think, and
Definitely.
by a distance. But just this year has been so full of amazing games. So we could spend hours talking about this game. But number three, Foolish Mortals. Just if you haven't played it already, I would say go play. If you're a fan of adventure games, and if you are thinking, well, puzzles, not many puzzles anymore. This game has it all. It has very high production values, looks wonderful, sounds wonderful, plays wonderfully as well. Great story. So number three is Foolish Mortals. So thank you everybody, and thank you Matt. Now we are nearly there. Number two, our number two adventure game of the year. Kieran, would you like to reveal what is our number two adventure game? And Inklingwood Studios actually there. Hello, guys. Huge congratulations. Fantastic game then as well. Feel free to write in the live chat, by the way, people telling us what games are your favorites as well. But Kieran, what was our number two adventure game of 2025?
So our number two adventure game of the year is The Drifter. And this is another example of, yeah, when I played Blueprints, I thought, well, that's done. That's going to be game of the year, and it's ended up in fifth. And when I played The Drifter, I thought, well, that's it. That's good. There's no way that's not going to be adventure game of the year. So we've got it as number two. It is absolutely
The
brilliant.
Drifter
Yeah, it really
with
blew me
Mick
away.
Carter.
Drifter Mike.
Oh, I knew that was going to come. I should have.
Yeah, we need to
anticipated
mute Sersha now for a
Yeah.
bit.
Hey, the developer wanted me to do more. He's going to hire Drifter. In case everybody hasn't listened, there's Drifter 2, and I'm going to play every role in that game. You can hear it in my interview with the developer, Dave Lloyd. So he wants to self-sabotage his career. Yes. Great. But yes, anyway, carry on, Kieran.
Well,
Talk
maybe
about
we
the
can get this as
Drifter.
DLC. We can replace all the brilliant voices with Shorshas.
Is that like
every character on the Drifter?
like Thimbleweed Park's like make ransom swear? We just have like the every voice
Yes.
in the drift.
With me doing an Australian accent, I think that's going to make it so much better in every way. Anyway, carry on, Kieran.
Yeah. So this is a pulp thriller from Powerhoof Games, who have done a whole bunch of free adventure games. So if you already played it and enjoyed this, check out their free stuff, because they're all brilliant as well. As far as I can tell, this is their first sort of full length adventure game, and it is incredible. So you play as Mick Carter, who is this drifter. He is traveling by box cars, going from town to town, picking up jobs here and there. And the very first thing that happens is there's this really brutal murder that takes place right in front of him on the boxcar, and there are these sorts of futuristic, weird, scary robot-looking figures who are then trying to chase him. And the game just goes at 100 miles an hour from there. There's all these sorts of conspiracies. There's these shadowy corporations that are getting involved. There are crazy scientists. There are good scientists. Everything's going on. And the thing that it really manages incredibly well is pacing. My goodness, I've never known an adventure game manage quite what The Drifter manages in terms of pacing. Every single scene, even though it's very traditional, it's 2D point and click adventure fare. You've got an inventory, you've got dialogue puzzles, you're trying to work out how to navigate a situation in a slightly lateral thinking kind of way. So in all of that, it's very traditional. But you feel like you're on your toes. You feel like one wrong move and everything is going to go wrong. You need to manage every single situation well. To the extent that at a couple of points when I was playing it, I needed to go away and go and do something else, and I really felt like I couldn't leave the game because someone was going to die, because someone was going to fall, something was going to cave in, any of these things were going to happen imminently, and I'd really internalized that urgency. And the thing that it does really well, so a lot of adventure games, I think, have tried to capture that sense of urgency and that fast pace by putting in things like quick time events, and I am not a big fan of them at all. And this manages it solely through writing, solely through the scenes that it sets up in front of you, and the way that traditional adventure game gameplay is implemented. It manages it just in itself, just very naturalistically. As soon as you're immersed, and it's very easy to immerse yourself because the writing is so good, because the voice acting is so good. as soon as you're immersed, you genuinely believe that everything is at stake unless you act quickly, unless you act now, and it's great for that. On top of that, even above, after all of that, the art is fantastic. The animation is fantastic. Loads of scenes have this sort of shimmering effect that everything is in motion. Lights sort of move across the screen. There are little water effects. The soundtrack has this dark synth kind of vibe going on, which is just really, really fun. It's really nice, and it's perfect for this kind of pulp thriller genre. Yeah, so that is the Drifter. I thought it was absolutely brilliant.
It's a relentless game. It's like normal point and click adventures. They play like these Scandinavian crime thrillers. They take their time. They you have to do everything, and the acting is great and stuff. But this plays like a blockbuster. This plays like a Michael Bay movie. Like, it's just relentlessly driven, and yeah, as you said, pure by writing and acting, and yeah, it's amazing. I've never experienced anything like this in an adventure game, and yet it's only number 2. Only.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, only so
very,
low.
very low
Yeah.
down. So low
Really
down.
low down.
Yeah.
I think one of my favorite kind of set pieces in an adventure game is the introduction to the Smoking Mirror, Broken Sword 2, where basically like George Starbott's tied to a chair in a burning building, being attacked by a spider, and the Drifter is pretty much like, oh, what if we just took that and have the main character in like situations like that every 5 seconds, and it's like, I'm surprised that Mick Carter doesn't have like a heart attack about like 5 times during the course of that game. It's just relentless. I'm surprised the audience done, because the game kind of could trigger a Connery like in about half.
I don't think they want that on their page.
that should be on the Steam page.
That's
I'm
voice
quite
actor.
sure that's.
that should
voice
be on
actor.
the Steam page.
could cause heart attacks.
Yeah.
Voice actor of Mickey also sounds as if he's actually in that situation. It's
With the
remarkable.
narration.
It's very good voice acting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that really helps bring the sort of sense of urgency, doesn't
It's
it, with him? Yeah.
They created another modern classic character with that one. I mean, I've no idea if this is a game that can get a sequel, if the story would allow it or something. But I definitely hope that this developer makes another game like this. But Mick Carter is definitely already a modern adventure game classic character.
Yes, so yeah, just repeat what you guys said. It's fantastic, fast-paced point-and-click adventure game without taking shortcuts, and it's very, very well written, very well acted. Again, it looks amazing, the pixel art, but it still looks different. The expressions are still expressive, and it's like a John Carpenter or kind of Stephen King kind of horror pulpy thriller. Yeah, any other year this would be our number 1. But before we get to our number 1, very, very quickly, we wanted to mention honorable mentions that we won't talk in detail about. We'll just mention them. Who wants to go first? Any game that we haven't mentioned that won't be our number 1? Johnny, is there any adventure game that you wanted to give a shout out to? That
Certainly, there were 2 in my own personal top 10 that I like to put a spotlight on. And that is The End of the Sun. It's not a classic point-and-click adventure game style. It's a first-person exploration, but I really enjoyed that one. Also, Slender Threads, which I thought was very good and combined a kind of horror with humor. That is really morbid sense of humor there. Was amazing. And lastly, Wildwood Down was very much a surprise to me. It's about a main character that has Down syndrome, and he completely steals the show in that game. You really should check it out.
all games I really want to play, but haven't got around to them yet. But thank you, Johnny. Thomas, is there any other adventure game that you wanted to give an honorable mention to?
Yeah, I had. There's one game on my list that didn't make it in. That is Carnival from Beyond Booleans,
Yes.
and which is a great Lovecraftian point-and-click adventure game, and you should really check it out because I was. It's not a very long game, but it's very well written, and the research done for the game is excellent. Like I actually learned a lot about Venice's history, and then he just gives it a very very nice Lovecraftian twist. And
Yes, we
my fondness for Lovecraftian games, so this was right up my alley.
absolutely. Well, I think we reviewed it, Eric, but I believe the developer
Kieran,
was in the chat, Beyond Booleans. So feel free to say hi, Beyond Booleans. But I think I really do want to play it. I've heard great things about it outside of this podcast as well. So yeah, so Carnival. Thank you, Thomas. Matt, are there any other adventure games we want to give a shout out to? A very quick shout out to.
Very quick one. I want to briefly shout out the interactive music album, which is Asterism, where if you just basically play a kind of music album, but it's written, art directed, and pretty much everything done by Claire Morwood. It like if you've got 2 hours on an evening, it's a great way to play. I also want to shout out, which I think is actually came number 11 in our list, so just missed out number 10. The sublime kind of Sunday ITV drama that is The Beekeeper's Picnic. Which is just like a nice, comforting hug. Like very low stakes, but just nice kind of like if you want to recover from the Drifter, the Beekeeper's Picnic is the perfect game to play after the Drifter. Actually,
definitely,
yeah.
That's perfect. And Kieran, any other games you want to give a quick shout out to?
I've got a few. So I loved also the games that have been mentioned so far. Also, Wednesdays, which is more sort of graphic novel, very light on interaction, and it deals with some very serious and quite dark themes incredibly maturely, very, very well, really worth playing. Quantum Witch, which we also did a longer review on, I really enjoyed, and Ialu, which is a stop motion little sort of puzzle exploration game with a little wooden mouse. It's really cute.
Oh, perfect.
very
Thank you,
cute,
Kieran. And Laura, Chris up.
Yo, I will quickly mention Despelote,
Yes.
which
Yes.
tells the story of Ecuador when it's getting close to qualifying for the World Cup, and from the eyes of someone that experienced that, and then you're kind of playing as a 8-year-old who's experiencing their sort of city in the midst of football fever. And I just thought it was a really lovely way of experiencing that kind of history that I didn't really know about, and it had a lot of cool nostalgic touches and looked really amazing as well. So yeah, I really enjoyed that.
Oh, thank you for that. Well, for me, two very quickly games. Lost Records, Blue Mountain Range, and You Don't Nod game, which did not make our list. Incredible. I don't think it's quite as good as Life is Strange with Jermaine, but still very, very good. And if you liked Life is Strange, I would really encourage people to check that game out because it's it's similar and it's just really good. But didn't quite make our top 10. Who did make mine? But and then also Duck Detective, Ghost of Glamping, which I think everybody should play. I think they're short games, they're fantastic as well, and there's deduction. Get it? I did not come up with that joke. I wish I had, but that is in the game. There are puns like that in the game, but it's really good. It's a proper story. Voice acting is fantastic. It's his kind of a satire on war detective stories. And the duck detective who is addicted to bread, unfortunately. He's a breadaholic and is trying to get over it. But he's to do this, detective with this mystery, and it's fantastic. And I hope that they could keep making these games every year, releasing them every year, because I'll be here for them. And I hope that every one of you play these games as well, because if you do like these kind of deduction games, like Root Trees Are Dead and Case of the Golden Idol, I would happily recommend them. I recommend this game. And again, it's about 2 hours. You could easily play this over a weekend or in one evening as well. So now we'll just very quickly find out what other people's adventure games were. I did put it out on Reddit, and several people said Rosewater was beautiful, The Drifter No Skies from Yanisor, The Drifter from Curious Tax. The first one by the Rosewater was from Working Donut 681. Guyal said Foolish Mortals was amazingly good. Curious Tax 2133 said Near Mage, which I don't think any of us have played. They mentioned, Lot Simon Source Origin, Slender Threads. They mentioned Space Venture, which I haven't played yet. Who was it? Education Mix 947 said Seance of Blake Manor, and they also said Foolish Mortals. Foolish Mortals again. And then on Facebook, we had 2, and they'll go reveal our number 1 adventure game of the year. Darren Bell, hello Darren. I know you listen to the podcast, and he's very active online as well. Foolish Mortals and The Drifters were his favorites, he said. And Dion Marius Duet said The Drifter was his personal favorite. So, but what is our number 1 adventure game of 2025 out of all of these absolutely amazing adventure games? And I'm going to play a very quick trailer. If it works, we will see, of this game. And there might be a little surprise for people then when we come back. So here is a very quick trailer for the game. Hopefully it'll work. We shall see. But here is a trailer for our adventure game of 2025. If it works.
It's great. It's great seeing your your file explorer in there.
Secrets are hiding
Oh,
here
great.
Hey!
in Blake Manor. And where is Evelyn Dean?
Well, I can't see it, but I can hear it.
Going, no.
Oh, you can't see it?
I think
I
you're
could
sharing the
hear
wrong
it.
screen.
Yeah.
We just,
You had
we just
one
got the
job.
folder. Yeah.
Okay, well, that didn't work, but
I think if you clicked on it and you had to share that rather than sharing the file explorer, because
We'll put it in for the podcast.
okay, well, look, it's I tried. It is the Seance of Blake Manor,
woo!
and the surprise
Woo!
is I hope we have one of the developers joining us.
Hey!
Strassa McCabe is with us. I don't know if she's there. She's been very, very patiently waiting for us. Hello,
Bless
Trassa.
her.
Hello.
Hey!
I think you can only see your files, by the way.
Yes, that's what I was. Yeah, bless
Yeah.
him. Bless Shorsha. but yeah.
I did try. I don't know if I'll look. It'll take too long if I try. We'll put it on after in post production. I tried to be professional and all, but that didn't work. So hello, Trassa. Happy New Year to you, and congratulations.
Great. Thank you so much. Yeah, it's fantastic. Oh my God, I've been just watching and going, wish list, wish list, wish list. Everything to add to the 5,000 things that I won't have time to play, but I'll covet for the next while.
Do you have any time to play any games now that you've released the Seance of Blake Manor?
No, but that's nothing to do with games. That's with having 3 wild children.
That includes the husband, right?
And a husband, yeah, exactly. Who was the largest child of all, the largest, scariest child of all. But yeah, lovely to be here, and yeah, this is so cool.
Yeah, no, congrats. And can I? Also, I'm just wearing my Ireland jumper that I got for my stag because it's an Irish game that's our number 1, and I didn't have to threaten the guys too much to put Blake Manor as our number 1. I think it's my number 1 game of the year, but I
Mine
think it's
too.
for all of us as well that this was the group
Yeah.
game, and this year in particular with so many amazing games out. And Seance of Blake Manor, and I'll just say very quick, out of all the games that I've played, Seance of Blake Manor, it's the one game I could have happily played like for about 5 hours straight, and that I was thinking about when I wasn't playing it, that I
Yeah.
just kept taking, I became nearly obsessed with this game, and I do have to give this game a mention, like Suzerain, which again, I know you guys know that I love, but this game, I was just thinking, oh, I have to go, do this. Who am I going to talk to next? Where will I go next? And try and find out, what happened. But it is the one game, and I loved all the games on the list that I've played, but this is the one game that I became obsessed with. And I think I was asking you guys at Adventure X, is it because, I'm Irish that I love this game, or is it because it's genuinely an amazing game? Bit of both, maybe, but I think it's genuinely an amazing game.
I think it's just, yeah, I think what's interesting, even if you don't know a lot about Irish history, it's got a lot of really interesting Irish mythology, interesting characters that you can delve into, and there's that element. But then there's also the really fun game mechanics of, I've got to tick all these things off and do all the exploring and kind of deduction parts. So you're learning a lot about kind of history and things, but you're also doing a lot of fun detective bits. And like you said, I played when I first played this game, I played it till 5 a.m. I just couldn't stop. I was just like, I have to keep going each hour. It was so good.
And I was getting so stressed because I could not finish one of the I could not clear one of the suspects. So, and then I had like 10 minutes left on the last day, and I said, I don't know what to do. Help! And Laura gave me the final hint that I apparently missed to pick up something. So I couldn't
Yeah.
ask. So I couldn't ask about that thing that I didn't pick up. So with 1 minute left on the clock before the séance began, I managed to finish it, and
Amazing.
I never felt so relieved.
Yeah,
So
even if you're
it
not super into like the Irish stuff, I mean, it's a fairly universal theme, right? The theme
Yeah.
of death and the beyond, and like what lies beyond, and all these kind of different spiritualities that have kind of come into the one space. And it gave us this kind of opportunity to look at like how we all kind of perceive the occult, and how we all kind of perceive the afterlife, and how oftentimes it's just a different reflection of the same thing, right? And I think that was really interesting. I listened to like a few people talking about the game, and they were kind of going, "Oh, is it because I'm Irish?" And then somebody else came in, they were like, "Well, I did a degree in theology," and so I had that kind of same kind of feeling about it. Or somebody else is like, "Well, I knew loads about this one thing," and I think it being set in the real world, and all of these different meldings of different people and different like the different real world things,
mm,
meant that like lots of people actually came in it from different perspectives, thinking like this game's for me, because they knew a lot about something specific. Like but yeah, like it's been amazing to see the reaction to the game so far, and it's been fantastic. People just in like googling Tua de Danann and Book of Invasions and stuff that like nobody cared about, like our history and our mythology beforehand, but you're seeing people like on threads and stuff looking for like looking through all of these resources, and just that's really beautiful for me anyway. And the fact that he's kept playing is a testament to the fact that it was so fucking hard to balance.
I can believe it. Like, good on you, because wow, yeah.
Right at the end, it was like trying to get that lag. I don't know if we got it perfect, but the fact that he's at least kept playing and wanted to keep playing meant we got close enough to it near the end for release.
Yeah.
yeah, no,
Congrats.
it's I think the one word I would use is it's authentic, authentically Irish, but for every other character that's there, and you mentioned there about theology, that it's obvious that you did your research, that it does feel authentic for each aspect of the game. And it's another side of Ireland that not a lot of people, even I didn't hugely know, that we don't usually see games like this set in Ireland. It's usually like the diddly eye stuff or whatever, or romantic comedy, or and it's very often not authentic. But this is very authentic, and also I think it's accessible. That it is challenging, but the game does some of the work. As you mentioned, Laura, the game mechanics. But you still have to figure out like what do you do? Like where are you going to go next? But the game does help you along as well. And I think that's what kind of doesn't make it too intimidating. But it's absolutely fantastic. It's absolutely amazing. Does anybody have any quick questions for Tressa, because she's been
Yes.
here very patiently?
Yes.
Thomas,
Well, I
we
would
can't keep her
love to
too
know-
long, I know, but
I know. I would love to know if there's any possibility that we could get another adventure with this main character, because I know this is just a completed story and the story is absolutely well done, but I hope there would be more stories to tell with this guy being the investigator, and maybe going to another part of Ireland or going into something else.
So we are literally right now putting together pitches for what we do next. So go to your local publisher and tell them to give us money. And whoever gives us money to make the next game is what we'll be making next, because our children need wine. So yeah, like it's absolutely a possibility. It's just depends on like what we can sell. And like if we had the money to be able to kind of throw at it ourselves, I think that's definitely what we all as a team would love to do, because I think like we iterated through a lot of the mechanics and stuff like that a lot through the development period. And I think we only kind of landed on where we felt comfortable near the end of development. I would love to go into like a new game knowing straight out the door kind of like what our mechanics look like how to sort out those loops, and like understanding what I did now, but from the get-go, and build something new. And plus, like, Ireland is full of weird ghost stories. Like,
Oh yeah.
we grew up with so much weird and wonderful stories. And like Elshish has said, like we're often not taking that seriously, but there's a lot of like kind of fairly grim history there, and a lot of like weird mythology that's we'd love to bring out.
Explore. Yeah.
Yeah.
Really
love
looking
that.
forward to that. Whatever you're going to do next, I'm looking forward to it.
Well, what we're doing next is Dark Side Detective 3. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
that,
buy that.
Yes, no,
Absolutely.
can't wait. Do you know if it'll be out this year or more, or do you have any idea? I have to ask that.
No, I have I have the timeline there somewhere, but it would take me a very long time to find it. I don't know if it's the end of this year or the start of next year. I'm not
Okay.
100% sure. It would take me longer than I think we have.
Well, look, I don't want to keep you too long, Trasta. You're welcome to stay, but I know you're busy as well. But thank you so much for joining us on a Sunday, and a huge congratulations, because I didn't know when I started playing the game, what it was going to be like, but it genuinely is, at least my number one. And for Thomas as well, and I think for all of us, it's up there very high up as well. It's a truly amazing game. It just worked out, with just everything. And I want to play again because I did manage to save 7 people in the game, which but I want to go back and try and save them all, and then try and discover more of the secrets that I didn't find. So huge congratulations to you guys, and hopefully we'll see you at the next Adventure X.
Absolutely, and yeah, nice to see all of you more sober than I did.
A little bit more, we'll see.
Only a tiny bit.
So thank you so much.
Like, I hurt my throat at Adventure X doing karaoke, and it has not yet recovered.
Oh dear. Well, you were doing it very enthusiastically. So.
Very enthusiastic. Yeah, I just want to say thank you so much to all of you. This is like absolutely fantastic and humbling, especially when we're kind of up against so many amazing games. Yeah, so obviously thank you to all of you, and thank you to like the team, because realistically indie teams, nobody gets put in a box, and any game that comes out the door from an indie team is the collaboration and melding of a lot of weirdos who went into making indie games because it's an odd thing to do as a career.
Yeah.
But they all kind of came together and made the game. And I just want to say like big thank you to the team and to Raw Fury for giving us money to allow.
Yes, thank you to Raw Fury.
Thank you to everybody who played, and especially anybody who paid. If you didn't pay, I mean, thanks for playing, but I'll just find the next game.
I should really get you a trophy just so you can have it in your hand. Then I was thinking of doing that.
Yeah.
We'll see what we can do. Just for sort of because it was, well, I just keep repeating myself. Genuinely fantastic game.
Yeah.
So thank you so much,
you.
Trasta, and hopefully see you at the next Adventure X.
See you next year.
See you soon.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye. So that was Trasta McCabe. Huge thank you to Trasta for joining us. Thank you to all of you guys. So number one again, Seance of Blake Manor, which again, absolutely fantastic. If you love detective games, a bit of horror as well, but mainly detective. And yeah, it is absolutely fantastic. So thank you to all of you guys for joining us. Thank you to everyone who's in the chat. Apologies I couldn't get the trailer working. I'll see maybe in post-production if I can. And I hope I didn't show anything too bad in the... don't think there's anything there in the file. But anyway.
Not this time.
Not this time. No, next time. Well, we'll see you next time. Just thank you to all the developers. If your game was on the top 10 list, it means this was absolutely fantastic. And even if it wasn't, we still, it was still a great game, sure. But thank you for dedicating your time to make these wonderful adventure and narrative games for us as well. And it looks like 2026 is pretty much continuing where 2025 left off, because in January we spoke that Inco Studios released their new game TR49. We've Earth Must Die coming out at the end of January. Perfect Ties Station to Station has just been released, which is also getting some...
I completed that last night.
Oh good lord!
I finished it at half midnight.
And we still have a few games to actually review from last year that we haven't even reviewed yet. So
and I will be playing Pathologic 3. I just got that on the PS5, nice. Which I will be playing. So so we will be uploading review. We're going to Japan for our honeymoon.
That is so cool.
So we might need to wait until March for our next review episode. But we will be back.
We can review some things while you're away.
Okay, and edit and
can do
upload. If he's wanted to, sure, we can talk offline. But yes, so thank you so much. Anything else that anybody would like to say very, very quickly? I know a few of us do need to go.
Just thanks once again. It's been a great year. Looking forward to
Yes.
2026. It's going to be a patch year. Can't wait for it.
Yeah, and the feedback we also get from listeners is amazing. If you want to become a Patreon member, please do, because we can use that to make the podcast even better. And we love just playing these games. We love talking about these games. As you might have noticed, some people, like all these 6 people, love to talk a lot about these games. So yeah, we'll just have to keep on questing them.
Yes, and I will announce what I'm working on hopefully later on in the year, but I am particularly excited about it.
So are we.
I'm going to quickly use this opportunity to, if anyone's nice to the background, this Friday, like my Adventure Game podcast asks us about Loom, he's coming back.
Nice.
And
Yeah.
I've got 2 people talking about the Dagger of
Oh, that
Amon-Ra.
should be a fun one.
Yeah, I wonder who
Oh,
those 2 are.
that should.
Johnny and Saoirse, of course.
Yes, and one of those people might be excommunicated from the adventure game community. No, it was actually a very fun discussion, and I hope people enjoy it. But very different opinions, which was fun as well. But I won't give it away. Listen to that, but ask us about Loom. So Matt, tell us about Loom. What can we
I still haven't played it yet.
well, look,
Now
thank you.
who's getting excommunicated?
Yeah. Quick, cut the video. Sure.
Okay, we'll need to end the live stream. Well, thank you, everyone. Thank you for those who watch us live, and thank you for joining us afterwards. This video is still available afterwards. It will also be available audio. And yeah, you can feel free to write comments if you have any feedback or anything about your favorite adventure games of 2025 and what you're looking forward to in 2026. So yeah, so I think with that, Thomas, would you like to take us out?
Whatever happened in 2025, whatever happens in 2026, just keep on questing.
Hey.